2, 1. John Miglosh for the WDMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. We've got a meetup planned, a presentation with Brent Bissell, who was head of a bunch of big direct agencies through the years, did a lot of pharmaceutical and automotive marketing. And he and I worked together on a few projects, including Cartizim. It's one of the best and most well-documented wins for direct mail. And we're going to be presenting on the 15th of November in Minneapolis, probably over by St. Louis Park. We've also scheduled, or tentatively scheduled, one in, and that one's sponsored in part by Japs Olson. We also are doing one in Milwaukee over at AB Data in the first week of December. So if you're in Chicago, drive up. It's not that hard. You can come for dinner up here. We got great restaurants in Milwaukee. And we're working on one down on the southeast side of Chicago in Indiana, the very corner of Indiana. So we got some great things coming up with the Wisconsin DMA. And the reason we're doing this is so you can get a promotion, so that you can make hay in the boardroom. And what I have noticed in almost 40 years of marketing consulting is that there are almost never marketers represented in the boardroom. Even though it can be one of the great breakthroughs of a company. You know, you look at Blend Tech, where the lab techs were laughing and they were grinding up G.I. Joe dolls with their blender, and the president heard them in there giggling and put up a camera and did the world famous series Will It Blend, where he ground up an iPhone and other marbles and other interesting things. And now, believe it or not, I have a Blend Tech blender in my home because my wife watched those silly videos and decided that was the blender for her. So marketing can have an enormous effect. And why aren't they in the boardroom? Okay, so let's go over here and check this out. This is really good today. I'm excited about this today. Okay, the basic fundamental problem. What's being discussed in the boardroom? Well, the board is there to represent the shareholders. Okay? They're not there to pay the president a ton of money. They're there to get the company moving forward, the best return on investment for the shareholders. That is what the board's about. Did you hear that in there? Did you hear those words? Return on investment. Investors invest. The board represents the investors and wants the best return long term for the investors. Okay? And that's not always long term, but usually it is. Okay? But they want it's to represent the investors and return on investment. ROI. Did you know that less than half of 1% of board seats in the Fortune 1000 have been held by marketers? I know, because when people ask me, kids ask me, I want to go into marketing. I say, you know what? You'll always be in middle management. They say, what do you mean? I said, well, the CEO and the CFO go to the board meetings. The CMO probably doesn't. And you report to him or her. And so you'll never have a voice. You'll never have equity stake in a company, almost never, unless you've found it yourself. Okay? So you're always going to be a middle guy. You know, you'll get some pay and some benefits, and you'll be a regular worker. You're going to be a worker bee if you're a marketer. You may not want to hear that, but that's the way it is. There's only a few ways to break out of that. We're going to talk about that, okay? Not only aren't there marketers, but they are ranked toward the bottom of the wish list for new board directors at 21%, while financial expertise is ranked at the top, 62%. Now, the irony of all this is that financial expertise rarely includes how do we sell something. You know, it's ironic to me that the finance guys, who are generally looking in the rearview mirror, came out of accounting. They're looking at history. They're piling up the past. They're piling up piles of what happened in the past. So easy. Whereas the marketers are trying to predict the future. And yet they predict it poorly. We're going to get into that in the next article. Okay? Marketers have so many opportunities to lead, but they struggle to explain the link between marketing activities and financial performance. Okay? It's about attribution. And so many attribution formulas I see are baloney. They take whatever the marketer wants to pitch. I was in a company where they called everybody that they mailed a week or two after they mailed them and got all the orders rounded up through the telecenter. So they had like 2/3 of the employees were telemarketers. I said, that's crazy. You need to let it rest a couple of weeks and see what comes in and then call the people that need to get called. Not call everybody. Didn't make a bit of sense. Anyway, so there are 4 key questions that marketing is uniquely able to answer with data, not opinion. What are the key customer growth drivers of our business? That's what we do in modeling. We find the key variables. But in order to find them, you got to isolate them, and that's a direct marketing puzzle. And that's why this news show and opinion is about direct marketing, to help you do this, because you're not doing it. How do I know you're not doing it? Because I've been consulting for 40 years almost, and I go into direct marketing companies who aren't doing it. And the rest of you, give me a break. Will our marketing and sales investment behind the key growth drivers deliver the planned results? Will this work? Will it work up here? Will it work? Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is what you need. You need to know what's working, and you need to quantify it. And direct marketing is the only discipline that will do this for you. It's crucial that you understand this, or you'll always be in the lunchroom, buddy. Can we scale the key growth drivers? Another interesting fact. So if we base all of our information on focus groups, but we don't get a chance to talk to all of our customers, what do we really know? Let's find scalable variables. And are these key growth drivers sustainable? And to some extent, nothing is, but that's the way it is. Okay, so that's a great article. Here's another one. To fix the perception, we got to overcome 3 issues. First issue, forecast phobia. Marketers don't like guessing. And yet that's your job, to guess the future and to guess right. Okay? Now, part of the reason they don't like to guess is because they don't set up field valid experiments, because they don't want to guess. They don't have hypotheses. What is a hypothesis? A fancy word for guess. A hypothesis. You say, we think this is why customers buy. Let's set up a test. Let's offer them for that reason. Let's offer them without that reason. Let's offer them some other reason. And let's quantify the results. Measurable does not give you quantified results. It doesn't give you anything measurable. Okay. Marketing is about future success. Guessing. See the previous article. Marketers, however, because the future is hard to forecast, if I said that, you can't tell me who's going to buy, and that's what you're all wrapped up in. You're wrapped up in who's going to buy, which is not falsifiable at a meaningful level. So marketers tend to avoid forecasting. We need to look at the aggregate. What's going to happen? Because they don't like it, because they could be wrong and look stupid. The other thing is, they're getting, this guy tossed out 3 balls into the audience at a speech. He said, how do you people like those balls? Everybody liked the balls. You know, and then he asked, who would like to keep the balls? And everybody said, all the people, the 3 that got them, said, then he said, now, who of you would like to own one of these, would like to buy one of the balls? No hands went up. Okay, which is the difference between a click and a view and not getting a sale. Direct marketing focuses on the sale. All other metrics, well, the profit per piece, the profit, not just the sale. Okay? Likes are worthless, nice, but they don't lead to sales. And then we forget what our mission is. Know your number, get into the revenue camp, show your number, and make selling your purpose. And lastly, I just wanted to show you the marketing dashboard. Vanity metric that has nothing to do with sales, graph that doesn't match any other department's numbers, chart that hasn't been updated lately, a really pretty map. No idea what this is or what to do with it. Not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts. Get that tattoo on your forehead. 1963. Great, often misattributed to Albert Einstein. Dashboards give marketers a false sense of security. Missing in marketing dashboards are metrics that relate to long-term growth and a lot of noise. You're fooling yourself half the time, which is why you want to be a direct marketer where integrity counts. Okay, and that's some great. Go there, markettunis.com. Check out today's article. Like